It is indeed a pleasure, to be here. The Honorable Philip Powell, MP for East Kingston and Port Royal, Dr. Rebecca Totola, Chairperson of the Board of Management, Museums of History and Ethnography, Mrs. Lalita Davis-Mattis, Executive Director, Jamaica National Heritage Trust, Mr. Vivian Crawford, Executive Director, Institute of Jamaica, colleagues, friends, students, ladies and gentlemen. I have been told to say welcome, so I say welcome. I say Akwaba, which is welcome in my language. I'm from Ghana. And then when I entered, I was asking who is going to launch this exhibition, and I was told that you are supposed to do that. So after saying welcome, I will say it is formally launched. I'm informed that the purpose of this relaunch of the exhibition is to raise awareness and share the rich history of Port Royal. And as we heard, it used to be a vivacious city, renowned for its wealth as well as its piracy. I came here about 3 years ago after spending some time at the UNESCO headquarters in Paris. And because I knew I was coming here, it was at that time that the Pirates of the Caribbean was showing as a movie. So I had the opportunity of watching that movie before coming to the shores of the Caribbean. So when they talk about piracy, at least I know something about it. The exhibition showcases the artifacts recovered from the sunken city of Port Royal, which, as we were told, was destroyed in the earthquake of 1692. In collaborating with the Institute of Jamaica to organize this launch, we hope that an increasing number of people in Jamaica and those who visit Port Royal, hopefully that will include the Archbishop of Canterbury, from other countries will gain invaluable information about the rich heritage of Port Royal. I would like to mention a few things about UNESCO, what we do, particularly in the area of culture, since we are really the only UN agency that concerns itself with cultural development, and then why we collaborated with the Institute for this relaunch and some of the activities that we have been collaborating with the Institute of Jamaica in organizing in Jamaica. Movable cultural objects and the museums in which they are conserved constitute exceptional repositories of cultural diversity. As points of access for information and knowledge about cultures, and as centers of education, both formal and non-formal, museums contribute to mutual understanding and social cohesion, as well as to economic and human development. Indeed, museums foster an integrated approach to cultural heritage, as well as serve as a link of continuity between creation and heritage, between the past and the present. UNESCO's strategy with regard to museums focuses on the contribution that museums can make to an integrated understanding of heritage and their potential contribution to socio-economic, cultural, and human development, as I've just mentioned. Our strategy involves a number of strategic actions, such as training activities involving simple and efficient techniques for safeguarding objects, with a special emphasis on the creation of pedagogical tools, museums development by strengthening professional networks and partnerships, improving educational content and access to knowledge through awareness raising and educational activities, promoting the return, restitution, and improved access of cultural objects by means of awareness raising and advisory activities, and joint implementation of normative and operational activities, particularly with regard to the fight against illicit trafficking and protection of underwater cultural heritage. I will return to underwater cultural heritage in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable MP, UNESCO's support for this relaunching of the exhibition is the latest action in a long period of our collaboration with the Institute of Jamaica, which dates back to the 1990s. Illustrative of the successes of this partnership are, in the early 1990s, UNESCO supported the establishment of a library and a museum in the Maroon community of Akompong in St. Elizabeth. I was speaking to the lady who was sitting behind me who knows something about Ghana and was asking me, which part of Ghana do you come from? And I said, my hometown is called Agropong. And it has a very close affinity to Akompong. The only difference is ours is spelled with a KR, and I suppose perhaps somebody found it difficult to pronounce Agropong and decided to call it Akompong. In 1996 to 1997, the Institute of Jamaica collaborated with our office to ensure the proclamation of the music of Motown as a masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity. And this is something that UNESCO keeps across the world, and it is an award, it is an honor for any of these artifacts or cultural heritage to be proclaimed as such. And then in 2005, up through last year, the Institute carried a project called Safeguarding the Maroon Heritage with funding from UNESCO, some of the achievements of which include training of a number of Maroons in heritage documentation, the establishment of a National Maroon Archive at the auxiliary agency of the Institute, which is the African Caribbean Institute of Jamaica, the establishment of a mini museum and herbal garden at Motown, the transmission of knowledge, traditional knowledge to Maroon youth, and audiovisual documentation of the musical, traditional medicine, traditional cuisine, language, dance, and other spiritual practices of the Maroons.